my whole philosophy was like, go back to reality, go back to the reality
Yeah.
that works for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Then Business Insider.
yeah,
What was your process with that, deciding to do that, put yourself back in that space?
I didn't think it was going to impact me as much as it did because I feel like
Me neither.
since even before the rest of the episodes aired, I was so triggered by the way that they misrepresented Mexico and the things that I lived through in Mexico that I had been talking about that in interviews or even on my social media if you go back months ago, like I've been talking about this stuff. And then I was like, finally, there's a way for this to actually get heard. So at the time, talking to the reporter, it felt therapeutic. Then it came out, and I was like, wow, I'm reliving this publicly again, and I can't deal with it. But then the amount of people who reached out from other shows um, made me want to keep talking about it, even though it was like kind of still hurting myself. But
Yeah, I agree. I initially didn't respond. I didn't think about it.
yeah,
I wasn't going to do it. I was like, this is not part of my identity anymore. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I have nothing to lose. But there's a lot of misrepresentation, and going through the articles actually what prompted me to agree to, help and join and found the UCAN Foundation. Cause I'm like, I said this already, but when I went through all of that again from start to finish, and what happened in Mexico and what it did to you and what it did to me and the role that I felt like it played with where we were in our lives. And I didn't know where you were, but like I knew where you were before I didn't know where you were. And I was just like, I have to do something. And if this article is going to really be like an expose and be more than just you and me
yeah,
bitching and complaining about this, then I have to do it because it's the right thing to do. Even
yeah,
though I was so terrified of just being back in that world. And
yeah,
honestly, like being like the only way it worked for me is out of sight, out of mind. And
yeah.
just seeing you again. And yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
it's like having our names connected in every single article and in every single news outlet when we hadn't talked for God knows how long.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it was,
yeah, that was tough.
yeah, that week was really hard. That week was very, very hard.
It was more than a week. I was like, "What were
Well, I
you
mean, it's
thinking,
still going
Danielle?"
on. I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier now that we're still talking, or that we're
Yeah.
talking now. I think it was a lot harder when it's like, okay, we're literally supporting each other without talking to one another, and you're the only person I want to talk to. So
I
that
know.
made it even harder to live through. And it's still, hard regardless because you're talking about traumatic events. You're talking with other people who experience this stuff behind the scenes without having the voice to do so or, being scared until we did. And it's just like this pile of emotions of like mine, yours, ours together, the hundreds of people who have reached out to us separately. It's just like a lot to take on when you've tried moving on from everything.
I couldn't agree more. The people reaching out, I continue to invite it. It is
Yeah.
hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
read because you realize that behind your incident, there's 100 more people that have gone through it too, and maybe worse in
Like
some cases, maybe better. And it's just so hard.
when I talk to some of the people of the things that they experience, I'm like, wow. Like if I feel this way from what I experienced, I cannot even imagine. And it makes me
Yeah,
sick to think about because there are
I know.
horror stories that I will straight up say are like 10 times anything that I had gone through. And I'm, like I'm not trying to discredit myself, but like it's just like
No,
if people were to like read this stuff,
I know.
it's
Well,
like
that's
insane.
that's for yes. Please don't discount yourself or our experience. Everyone experiences things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
So
like what the
yeah, it's a very fucked up thing. And the problem is that this has all reality TV has escaped labor laws. Reality TV has escaped any kind of regulation. And even the shows that try to do the mental health support thing, like they're staffed by the production company who has a benefit to knowing the mental health of a contestant or a cast person or The Bachelor or whomever it is. And so it's all there to be smoke and mirrors and actually give the show the drama. And that's why I think, going through this, we just need to change. Like we have to change this industry, because what you went through, what I went through, what we went through together, and what all these people are going through, that is not okay. That is not okay.
No. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's exploitative. And it's literally like the Hunger Games. It feels like the Hunger Games.
Makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
And this is, like, this isn't this isn't just like Little Love is Blind. This is like there's like
cooking shows,
so many
Food Network shows, competition shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awful.